Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another Captain's Log. This is Captain's Log 010923. And of course, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault here today. We're going to talk about this month's free games on the basic PlayStation Plus service, the Essentials, as well as two major franchises that are both delivering big games this year. So let's get to it. Alright, so first off is Jedi Fallen Order, the EA game that takes us on a journey using the main character Cal, he survived the Purge of the Jedis during the prequel series. And it's a game I've always wanted to try, never got around to having it free this month. I said, you know what, I'm downloading that and I'm going to give that one a shot because the game looks pretty amazing. Now the second game, Fallout 76, I've got a lot of experience with. This is a game I pre-ordered and played day one. And while anyone who knows anything about games and the history of Fallout, Bethesda, and yada yada, knows that Fallout 76 was a huge failure upon release. Now, in the years since, it has redeemed itself quite a bit as it's added new content, added NPCs in it and other things to make the game that much better. And I do highly recommend checking it out. It is a multiplayer game, online only, but it's not like, I think it's a maximum of 24 people per server, and it can be a lot of fun. Now last but not least is Axiom Verge 2. This is a 2D side-scroller. I never played the original. And to be quite honest with you, this is the kind of game that really doesn't appeal to me. I threw it in my library in case, something down the line I want to try something different. But if you like these, I've heard, some pretty good stuff about it. But again, nothing I am super excited about. We've got two major releases this year from two huge IPs that are big in the cinema, and one of them started out as a series of books. That is Hogwarts Legacy, which is based on the Harry Potter universe. And then we also have Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which of course is based on the Star Wars movie series and is a direct sequel to the free game this month, Star Wars Fallen Order. Now, both of these games look to be pretty big and pretty interesting, and one of the reasons I downloaded Fallen Order was because I do want to participate in Jedi Survivor when it comes out. It looks like a fantastic game. Jedi Fallen Order has some roguelike elements to it, some what they call Souls-like elements to it, where you've got a lot of dodging and parrying and rolling in the fighting. If you get killed by an enemy, you've got to go recover your XP by finding the enemy that killed you and hitting him one time. You don't have to kill him, which is good, but you still have to hit him one time. So, and there's places to rest where you can spend your XP and upgrade your character and all that. So it's pretty solid looking game. And Survivor looks like it's taking this and taking it to a whole new level. And then it's going to be a much bigger, much grander game. And I can't wait for that. Now, I was 6 years old when the original Star Wars movie came out. So it always held kind of a special place in my heart, as I grew up watching that, and then the Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and unfortunately the prequels and then the modern sequels, none of them stood up to the originals, which were fantastical movies. The rest of them just felt kind of okay, I guess. They were all right. I've watched a couple of the series on Disney Plus, like the first two seasons of The Mandalorian, which was okay. It was pretty good. Book of Boba Fett really was disappointing, and overall, my taste of Star Wars has soured throughout the years. Maybe I've outgrown it. Maybe it's gone in a direction I don't like. I don't know what it is, but at this point, this is a fun way to get back into the series, because this game, this Fallen Order game, right from the onset, feels like you're thrown into a Star Wars film. There's some action right away, and the music and the look of everything, how everything looks, dirty and old and used. It doesn't have that slick Star Trek look where everything's shiny, and brand new looking. No, this is a lived-in universe that really has a distinct feel to it. So I'm looking forward to playing this game, getting the next game, and then surprisingly, we got an announcement from Ubisoft that they are developing a Star Wars game that I've seen mentioned is going to be something like No Man's Sky, but with the Star Wars universe. And anyone who watches my channel knows that No Man's Sky is a huge game for me. I've been playing it for years. I got tons of videos on it. I got a big community that loves the game. And if the new Ubisoft game falls in that same vein, well, we might have something interesting to talk about. So I'm going to keep my eyes and ears open for that, so I know what's going on with it. Hopefully, it's not just a rumor, and hopefully, it's not something that gets delayed, for 100 years, and I live long enough to play it. All right, and last of all, let's talk about Hogwarts Legacy, the game based off of the Harry Potter universe, and what is going on with that. And this is going to be my age showing a little bit, but I got to talk about this because it's kind of frustrating. I see a lot, and I'm not going to post any tweets here or anybody's name or name any publications and all that, but I just see so much hate out there for this game. J.K. Rowling, the author of the books, the creator of Harry Potter and the entire universe, who obviously did not make the game or anything, but I'm sure through royalty deals is going to make money for every copy sold. I see so much hate against her on the internet for things that she said based on the trans community and her opinion about it. And I was never a fan of J.K. Rowling in particular. She tends to be a little out there with her leftist ways and all that, but this is just an example of what happens when you don't check every single box for a hive mind group of people. And now that she might agree with the liberal mindset on 99 things, this 100 things she doesn't, and they just want to burn her at the stake for it. People are saying F you if you buy the game. Publications are publishing 10 things you can spend your money on instead of this game. It's utterly ridiculous. And I feel bad. You got developers that have worked on this for hundreds of hours, I assume, maybe more. I don't know how many hours goes into the development of a game of this size and scope, but it looks big, it looks huge, and it looks fantastic. Now, I was too old for Harry Potter when it came out. It really didn't interest me. I have watched the movies, and they were fun. The feel of the movies brought me back to when I first saw Indiana Jones as a kid, the Raiders of the Lost Ark movie, and then the follow-ups, but mostly Raiders of the Lost Ark, that light-hearted adventure that was exciting and fun. And that's what it evoked for me, feeling-wise. But again, it wasn't something I really loved. I didn't hate it. I didn't dislike it at all. I liked it. I enjoyed it. But I don't sit there and go, oh man, I wish I could, have another Harry Potter movie, or I want to go to Universal Studios and go on the Harry Potter thing or whatever. I could care less, honestly. It's again, it was a good IP. I enjoyed the movies. They were fun, and then I moved on. I own them all, got them all. I got a great deal on the 8 movies. I own 1,000 movies, but it's not something I watch on a regular basis. Now, every now and then, I'll be like, you know what? Let me go through and run through them just to, get away for a couple days and, for 6 or 7 days, play through the movies and enjoy them. But overall, like I said, nothing. This game was underneath my radar. I'd heard about it, and I was like, all right, there's a Harry Potter game coming. Not really my cup of tea, but, whatever, it's cool. Be interesting to see how it does. And then all of this hoopla came about, right? All these people talking trash and, F you if you're buying it, and you're this kind of phobe or that kind of phobe, and yada yada. And I was like, really? That's so silly, and to be honest, it pisses me off to have random people on the internet telling me what I can spend my money on and what I can enjoy and what I cannot enjoy. I'm like, well, what gives you the right to do that? And how can you have the audacity to do that? And if I if I do want to enjoy this game, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to play it. So, in any case, to make a long story short, it got me interested in the game itself. So I started watching some gameplay reveals and so forth, and then as the game gets closer and closer to release, these reveals get bigger and bigger, and there's quite a bit to this game that looks fantastic. I love a big, fat, bloated open world game. I'll be honest with you. A lot of people don't like the recent trilogy of Assassin's Creeds, Valhalla, Odyssey, and Origins. Personally, I love them. They were a lot of fun. I like just being able to go to a world and lose myself for months or a year in that world, if I want to just, get through the main story and then just go back and screw around and have a good time cleaning up and doing side missions and collecting things and all that. It's a lot of fun. I like customizing my character, giving him a specific look, a specific play style, all that kind of stuff. And these open world games are rich with that. I like having a base of operations that you can customize, whether it be like the little village of Ravensthorpe in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, or building a base in Subnautica underwater. I mean, it's just so many games that allow you to do that, and it's always fun. Even No Man's Sky, we can build bases, we can build on our freighter, we have so much we can do there. And it's cool, I enjoy that kind of stuff. So this game has the ability to do a lot of stuff like that. You can catch creatures, apparently, and have them to where you can harvest stuff from them, like feathers, I guess, or whatever, to use in different spells and potions and incantations. You can grow plants that can be used in combat, and I assume to be used in potions and whatnot. I've watched a lot of this. I've tried not to delve too deep. They've kept the story a mystery, but it looks to be fascinating, and I would not have looked that hard into this had it not been for the backlash, because my curiosity would have just, there's plenty of other news out there. I got Dead Space coming up, and I've been so looking forward to that, and then this game's coming out a couple weeks later. I would have never considered getting it because I'm like, well, I'll probably be in the midst of Dead Space by then, although Dead Space I imagine is going to be a fairly short game. Still, I might be doing some, a second run through it, a New Game Plus if it's there on release. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so it's funny. So that whole, I think it called it the whole hoopla surrounding this actually sold another copy of the game because it looked so good to me. Now, as far as the accusations against J.K. Rowling and how people feel and all that, I'm gonna be honest, I come from a different generation. I really don't care what people feel on stuff like this. I'm not going to boycott something because somebody doesn't like somebody's opinion on something, whether that opinion is right, wrong, or indifferent. That's not how I operate, and I especially don't base my opinions off of what other people feel, think, or say. I mean, I am an individual. If I don't like the game, I'm not going to buy the game. If I don't like the author's opinion, I'm not going to like it. If I don't like the art style of the game, I'm not going to buy it. There's certain things that'll keep me from buying a game. If the story seems stupid or whatever, the combat looks awful, I'm not going to buy it. But this one looks like it's going to be a hit, and I can't wait to play it. And I'm definitely, I'm getting it pre-ordered, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. I think I get a 3-day early access to it too, so on November, oh God forbid, on February 7th, I'll be able to start playing it, which we will do a series here on it. So that's about it. We're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of the Captain's Log. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault. If you like this video at all, please leave a like on it down below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for notifications, and let me know down in the comments what you think about these two big movie franchises. And are you old enough to have grown up with either of them? Like, I grew up with the first, and of course I was already an adult when the second one came out. So I've been around for both of these. A lot of people, even though Star Wars is continuing on to this day, a lot of gamers these days weren't there for the originals. Their parents were, but they weren't. So sound off down below. Let me know what you think of these not adaptations, but these iterations of these universes and how they're being presented game-wise. Anybody who's been doing this for a while and playing knows that a lot of times movie adaptations, whether they be direct adaptations or just based on a movie, a character, or concept, fall flat and are pretty terrible. Just like vice versa when they make movies and TV shows about video games. They just don't seem to get what each other's vision is trying to do. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I will see you next time. Thanks as always for watching. I'll see you next time. Until then, peace.